the topic Unlocking Value Beyond Cost Savings, the evolving role of procurement in strategic growth. And to discuss on this panel discussion, we have with us our moderator, Mr. Sourabh Sengupta, Senior VP Supply Chain Management, Orbicular Pharmaceutical Technologies. Everyone, Mr. Sourabh is a seasoned supply chain and procurement leader with over 25 years of hands-on experience in sourcing, procurement, and global supply chain planning and operations. He has successfully led diverse teams across geographies and is well-versed in building and stabilizing procurement and SCM functions from the ground up. Known for his strategic leadership in complex environments, he remains committed to continuous learning and execution. Everyone, please welcome Mr. Sourabh Sengupta with a very big round of applause. And please keep applauding for our panelist, Mr. Amrinder Singh, Associate Director, R&D Procurement, Novartis. Big round of applause, everyone. Mr. Rajashyam K, Head of Procurement and Supply Chain, Apollo Telehealth. Mr. Balakrishna Nadella, Head Direct and Indirect Procurement, Jodas Expoim Private Limited. Ms. Neeta Pawar, Head Supply Chain Management, Godrej Memorial Hospital. Big round of applause, everyone, for our moderator and panelists present on the stage.
Audible? So, good morning, everyone. Today, what we are going to discuss in our panel is how we as procurement professionals are going to take the procurement at a very different level. From the nascent negotiation mindset, right? From a service provider mindset. Currently, we are all talking about TCO, total cost of ownership. Apart from our constant negotiation, we have changed the terminology of vendor or supplier to a partner, right? So the major mindset change, which is currently in progress in the procurement gamut, is the transition from transactional sourcing to value-driven partnerships. So the transition from supplier to partner, which changes the entire business arena from a give-take relationship to a profit and risk sharing relationship, right? Just some time back, the procurement professional focused on lowest price, assertive negotiation, and supplier comparison and evaluation. So today, we all see a major transition towards collaborative working with partners rather than just focusing on short-term financial gains, right? So this panel will deliberate on the transition by answering critical questions on the evolving scope of procurement and cross-functional collaboration, with challenges faced by the procurement colleagues in positioning the function as strategic rather than transactional, right? So our first question is basically, how has procurement evolved from a cost-saving function to a key driver of strategic growth? Bala, you would like to take that?
Yeah, hi. Sourabh, it's a interesting subject, and this is I mean to say it's not limited, or this is a big topic compared to the cost saving. So there is a cost saving. Everybody behind every organization is nowadays behind on cost saving. So every management in every organization, the first point comes expenses versus cost saving. So everybody says this is my target price, or this is a cost. General people, everybody has to come to the procurement or purchase team. So the management says, Bala, this is my budget, this is my target price, and what is your cost savings? What is the input, or what is your I mean to say this year what is your target, and next year every year. Management says, this is example, this year you had been done cost saving for 5%, or like people say some figures like 50 CR or 5 CR. So next year management expects more. So what is this? If your percentage wise become this is your year 5%. So next year obviously management expect more than your saving kind of. So I mean to say this subject is only not limited to only specific industry. it's applicable to every industry, every to say, cost is involved, every aspect, every department. I mean, it's not only specific to purchase guy is working to only for a specific department or kind of people focus on majorly nowadays in cost saving in the raw material. So from my side, my industry, I mean to say like pharma. So everybody is focused on nowadays like in pharma also if you see bulk drugs and versus your generic formulation. So I do work for both the bulk drugs as well as formulation, both industries. And so it comes to generic branded formulations. Everybody is focusing on, you mean to say, top 10 products, value versus volumes, I mean to say. So people says this is your API and this is top 10 APIs, this worth around 500 CR or 100 CR, whatever the volumes they buy. And they make generally, focus on cost saving on the key materials, key raw materials are like few people says APIs or excipients. Maybe these two are the major role, where your finished product getting into the market and is manufactured. So everybody focus on these two specific raw materials for the cost saving. Every year, every quarter they used to work out on cost saving. It's not like I mean to say only one time you do the cost saving and leave it. It's not like one time job for every buyer or purchaser in any industry. So it comes to like I mean to say. So I had experience in buying low volumes around 500 CR worth procurement per annum, and in few organizations I do had experience in around 1500 CR also worth the procurement constitute to complete every annual procurement I mean to say the volume. So generally I mean to say from bulk drugs everybody says so focus on key starting materials like intermediates and key raw materials kind of something. It's not only limited to only specific people are focusing on intermediates or APIs or excipients kind of thing. So I do other reverse engineering. Few people say I need to say I'm not that so technology saying reverse engineering that word. So I do say to my team to focus on instead of a part of these two categories, do the research and cost saving or other categories like you have consumables, packing materials, and engineering, electrical, civil. Lot of categories are there for cost saving. Everybody nowadays discuss on API, intermediates kind of something. So my perspective, I do train my team and I tell them do cost saving every category, every perspective, slow from a low category. So if you see formulation side, there is some packing materials. People don't focus on packing materials. Where you can focus in packing materials also like huge volume. So people are volume, say value versus volume. So these kind of cost saving and people has to focus more on other categories also. And I give one suggestion to everybody: make your own process a checklist and take the volumes. So take help from the production planning guy. Take the volumes for next 5 years and take prepare your list and make the volumes and talk to supplier saying that and this is my volumes and I need better price. Kind of you make one process chart. I mean it's a flow chart. So and call the supplier, make the top 10 products and focus on that and give them volumes. So take the last few years volumes and price and you tell them the next upcoming what is the volumes are coming up, what is the price you are expecting and what you keep some target price kind of something and which impact this all costing product somewhere few products I mean to say when new products are getting launched to commercial kind of something. So recently one business development guy came to me and saying that Bala, this product has been developed 2 years back and now we are yet to grab this molecule launch this product into commercial into the market, and they were afraid of to launch the particular product because of the costing. So example, my product costing is $10 per number So already your competitors has been entered in the market with $5 to $6 kind of something. So management obviously, they are in worry. So how to launch this product in $10? So business guy come to us and saying that Bala, your product cost is more. I cannot able to launch. So again, we have now gone back to the suppliers saying that no, we have to work out on the pricing. Otherwise, we could not have been launching this product in the market. And talk to them, explain them, and do negotiation, renegotiation, I mean to say, and explain them the criticality. Say that so because this product costing is getting $10, I'm not able to do, and explain them, let them know, rework out, and give some parameters to them on what parameters or volumes you want to discuss, and tell them to get down the product and costing kind of something, and talk to them and get it done kind of something. So this how few parameters I mean to say. We do have checklist. We will share to the supplier checklist and tell them to fill and give it back, and talk each and every point where they are stuck up, and also talk to them, tell them where they are buying the raw materials or chemicals, any materials kind of something, and tell them and get down the price kind of cost saving. So to specific product to reach your pricing part, or your target price or something. So it depends on your product number.
100% correct. So basically, we all have problems within our organizations in making procurement look like a strategic function, right? We all have problems in ensuring that CFTs don't take us as just a cost saving or pricing kind of a department, and we have problems in making them realize what is the TC, what is actually TCO, right? We all have faced similar situations where we have gone with the lowest bidder and we don't have a sustainable product. So how to market, how to put our value add into the procurement function so that our CFTs realize that this is a robust partnership, right? So a strategic edge, basically. So how can procurement teams align more closely with overall business objectives and strategy? This question is to Neeta, if you can aid.
Thanks. Actually, business, before that I want to tell you procurement. Procurement is not only procuring medicines. It's related to the quality, all things are involved. Procurement is the backbone of all the institutions. Not only, previously there was not that much importance was there, but now it is in importance that procurement is very important, crucial, the part of the institution. Related to the revenue, first of all, we need to check that that institution, what is their goal. They want to make only cost saving is their goal, or eco-friendly, sustainable supplier. What is their goal? That you need to find out. And then according to that, we need to work on the goals. Like if the cost saving is the goal, then we need to go through according to that suppliers. That only the cost reduction we need to check. And for the suppliers, if the institution goal is to eco-friendly, then we need to check the suppliers. Those we need to build a relationship with the suppliers, and they should take our this whatever material return is there and all. We need to tie up with them for the wastage and all. There should be no wastage, that we need to find out from them. Even in this institutional, we need to check in a pharma. I want to tell you that in pharma, like comparisons are there. For my institute is like tertiary level, but other cancer institute, then according to that strategy, we need to work on that for the goals also. Sometimes that institution is required to work on the oncology medicines, and for one institute it's required to work on gastro medicines. Then according to that, we need to work on the procurement process, how we need to procure, or how we need to see the requirement. That also is very important. We need to take our team also with us. It is not like only the senior person is handling everything. They should take their team. It is that whatever we are doing, it's for our institution. What we are going to achieve from this, they should know. Our teamwork is very important for revenue making. Then supplier relationship. Supplier, we need to check our suppliers. There is means we need to maintain a good relation with our suppliers. For revenue, it's very important. Then according to that, we need to check whether they are supplying on time or not. We should have a standby suppliers. It's not like that we are depend on only one supplier. Sometimes costing is also there. One supplier is having high cost, and we should have a standby suppliers. Then we can achieve, means we can compare that we should have data in overall in supplier data. We should even institution procurement team should have an interconnection with all the team members, with all the departments. Coordination should be there to make proper revenue for that institution. It's not like that only procurement senior person job. It is a whole team job is included. In even you need to check the suppliers, this whatever quality is there, what products they are supplying, what is their market value, and sometimes if they are following all the legal concerns or not, that also you need to check. That is required for the revenue making. And costing is very important part. Cost we need to reduce, but while reducing cost, we have to check the quality also. It's not like only reducing cost is not our work. We need to procure good quality product in less cost. This is our goal in procurement. And procurement team needs to explain to the other whole institution that how we are saving money and how we are explaining to others. Means we can explain to them. Only we are not procuring. We are doing for, we are helping to institute how we are helping. We are not money making. We are also with this green supplier, means eco-friendly. That also how eco-friendly you are helping to the institute. That also you need to explain. That all is required for revenue making in our profession.
Thanks, Neeta. So what I will suggest is the audience can also pitch in one or two questions in between. That would be slightly more engaging, right? So I'll just move into the third one. So this is for Rajashyam. So what role does supplier collaboration play in unlocking long-term value for the organization?
Hello. So now when we talk about supplier collaboration, firstly, as an organization and as a business, we have got to a point that it's no more supplier. Just like you said, it is more of a partner now. And they are very much an integral part of the ecosystem of that business. That's how it is. So it is no more that there is only a delivery of a product or a service. It is beyond that. Now when we talk about the collaboration and the value that we get, the first point that I would want to take up is about the innovation. The innovation does not happen independently between two organizations. If we have a supplier and there is a consumer of that as a buyer, then the buyer organization and the supplier organization should be together for such innovations. Only then the true value of the business comes out. So when we are talking about long term, then and when we speak about innovation, it is not just the product, it is also the processes, it is also the cost efficiency. Just now when he spoke about the comeback from the business about ask on reduction on the price or they are not competent to the market. So again, he had to go back to the vendor finally to do that, right? So that is why we say it is integral part and the innovation should happen at that level. So secondly, talking about the risk management, we as an organization, we have several policies, ISOs that we follow and we list down our risks. We also list down that the vendor related risk that comes in. But now is a scenario where we have to go beyond and look at the risk management of the vendor or the supplier as well. Will the vendor will be able to sustain during the risk that we are going to face in? Or do they have the mitigation plan, or do we have to work together with them and create such mitigation plans so that when we are exposed to such risk, they are also partnering and ensuring that we are getting out of such risk. With this, when we talk about the cost, which most of us are expected as a procurement function, now if an organization needs to be very much competitive in market compared to its other competition, then yes, this strong integration that happens with your own key suppliers that you have, and from starting out your business plan till your improvement or the iterations that you make over a period, for everything the supplier's contribution is equally important. So that's when we say we go beyond and also work collaboratively and a day in, day out job along with the suppliers so that the delivery of the business finally is intact and as expected.
Thanks, Atan. So the next one is, so any comments, people can raise their hands and comments, right? Any inputs, comments, please. So the next one is for Amrinder. How important is cross-functional collaboration between procurement and departments like R&D, operations, or finance?
Thanks. So what I would like to add is that procurement is often seen as a gatekeeper, right? A team which always comes back with, no, this cannot be done. What we have to do is probably act as a bridge between different functions. I'll explain it with help of an example that I did a few years ago. So we had a product that we were trying to develop, and the R&D team was looking for a major component. It was a media. And they looked up to us to buy that component or buy that media. The usual procurement team, what would they have done? Launch an RFP, find the lowest cost, the best value that we talk about. Everybody knows that. But we didn't go by that route. We called everybody into the room. That everybody meant the R&D, finance, right, and the manufacturing teams. We collaborated together. We found what is it that the team is looking for. What is their need? What is their requirement? Only then we were able to understand what product they are trying to develop. Ultimately, we didn't launch an RFP, and we selected a supplier which was costlier than many others in the market. But there was a reason, because they were technically superior and they met our needs. It was not about buying it from the lowest cost supplier. It is like, who meets my needs, right? And then that helped us, scale that product to what we wanted, because the supplier had regulatory clearances. They had the product which was technically superior. Yes, cost came in, but then that product became one of our star performance in years to come. And this was only possible when we were able to involve everyone together, understand their needs and satisfy those needs together. This became less about procurement. It became more about partnership that we developed with, the various teams within the organization.
Cool. So taking a cue from your answer, the next one is, what are the biggest internal challenges to positioning procurement as a strategic function? And how can they be addressed? This is for Rajashyam, if you can.
Yeah, I think it would be very much cliche where we generally say the leadership alignment or the business does not involve the procurement or is more seen as a reactive approach that is given to procurement. But if we just go into depth and understand why is that a perception, I understand this way that still there is lots of gap in the skill set as a procurement function itself that I say. Because as a procurement today, we are not just expected to just do transactional activities where talking to a vendor, finalizing the prices, or just releasing a purchase order. To be part of the business, or the way it was asked, to be a strategic function, we need to be equally contributing in a discussion in a technical manner. The way he just explained now, he called up all the teams. This is how today this is functioning. But if we look at a traditional team, then they either call in another expert, or there is a need to call in a vendor from outside to be part of such meeting and explain the technicality. Now, if a procurement team is equally skilled and enabled to be the technical partner sitting there, understanding the business, understanding the cost, the impacts, the risks, then is when, as a leadership, also understands that the need of having the procurement team part of such strategic discussions. So I think it is high time of changing the team structures as well, where not having the tactical structures, but having more on a category level structures, where the procurement as a team also has the category expertise built into it. That is when, if, for example, the business suddenly decides to pull in getting into a new business unit, then how much are we able to go and contribute? How much preparedness do we have? Yes, if the organization itself is going to into a new business unit, you may not have the complete expertise, but how quick are we able to transform and understand in detail those expertise, take understanding from multiple stakeholders, and then go part of such discussions wherein we are able to be the strategic contributors there. So I think this is one big challenge, and the solution towards it is to upskill and ensure that we are also a category expert, not just a simple negotiator.
So let me ask a question to the audience. How many of you have read the annual reports of your company? Maybe 10%, right? But where would the strategy come from? How would you know what business wants, what the business is doing? Before we even kind of upskill ourselves, understand what the business is doing, how they are running, what is the profit, what is the loss, what are the main products, how are we earning, what is the bottom line, what is the top line, right? So understanding that, we say we want to be part of the strategy, but we continue to be service if we go and ask, what should procurement buy? How many of us do that? What should we buy for you? What can we do for you? Moment we say that we are service, we are not. So if we want to be strategy, be part of it, right? And you want to be part of it, you have to understand it deeply. You have to speak the language of the business. If the CEO is talking about sustainability, put scope 3 emissions in your contracts, right? If your organization is talking about digitization, what are we doing about it? We cannot have one goals for ourselves and the other goals for the business. So that's how I believe that we can be part of it. How can we contribute? How can we add what we call value? It's like the buzzword today. How do we make sure that we are relevant to the business and we show that what we are capable of doing?
Actually, we should be part of from the kickstart of the project team when it starts, and understanding the complete BOQ and what is the specifications that required. Everything should be aligned with project teams. Then actual SCM process should start.
Right. No, I completely agree. I mean, and this is something that we always complain about. We are not being allowed to participate. We are not engaged early. Right? So what do we want to do with engaged early? I remember one of my colleagues, like in a previous organization, I mean, she was not part of the table. She was not part of the team. But then she brought in an analysis. She did analysis along with the supplier and brought it to the business head, which kind of was helping the product to improve. Right? It was not only about cost saving, it was about improving the product. Exactly. Moment she brought in, nobody asked her to do that. But she brought in, and then she earned a seat at the table. She was then part of every meeting that business was doing. Despite, she may not be contributing in every meeting, but she earned her seat, by bringing things that nobody was even thinking of. So that's how probably we can earn our seats, not just like demand it, right?
Exactly, it's not always on L1 what we see. It should be win-win and it should be time-based. Sometimes project may need timely supply than cost. If there are 2 days delay may cost a lot. So we have to compare when we are doing it, whether really it is useful, the negotiation to the project or not. That we have to analyze and conclude. Thank you.
I think when you said this, we have seen this most of the time. The procurement team goes to the business telling there is an opportunity to save cost. This is what most of the time go. But the way you said, or making it in more detail, where how many times as a procurement team we go and say, the competition is doing this, why not we try this? Let's alter the approach. Let's do business this way. Because you understand the business much better, because you are talking to every supplier day in, day out. You spend a lot of time with them. Business is out there to go and sell, go and market, but the groundwork that is happening is very much exposed to your eyes. So I think you should start getting there as well and not always talk about that I am able to save cost.
We can take help of AI applications in this comparison and even for the presentation. And AI is an endless process. Day by day it is upgrading themselves, and we are getting new reports that we can use for our comparisons, and we can present ourselves according to that. I think that is very helpful. You can take the help of applications whenever there is required, which will present ourselves very precisely.
See, my take on this is strategy and execution is a thin balance. What happens in our day-to-day operations, it's good to discuss in a panel, but what happens in our day-to-day operations is our teams are so entangled into the day-to-day issues, right, into firefighting, that it's very difficult to ascertain a strategic mindset. But Amrinder had a very valid point of starting from the balance sheet itself. So what happens many a times, we all must have experienced this, many a times we have to go with a partner with a low cost, just to facilitate the sustainability of the project from the cost perspective, right? But what happens when TCO comes into play, right? We fail. And in complex regulatory environments, right, where it is very difficult to change a partner midway, it becomes a pain forever. So that understanding to the organization requires a certain level of maturity, with the leadership also has to mature if procurement has to think something strategic. Any viewpoints in this?
Yeah, I think what you said has to be ensured at the onboarding level itself. It's not just what we evaluate as the best price, L1 and all that, but do we also put that criteria on ease of work, their long-term sustainability? Do we look at these criteria? Do we add weightage to that? Today when we talk about QCBC selection, quality and cost-based selection that we do, how much are we aware? Yes, we are aware about cost. We are expert, definitely understand. How much are we aware about the quality, and what all components do we add to the quality while we are selecting a vendor? I think that is where we need to be very cautious while onboarding a supplier itself.
Actually, I am dealing with the medicines. In that, I am facing these issues regularly because of shortage of medicines and all. Sometimes, medicine is very high cost, which was costing previously around 5,000, but now it is 10,000. But in emergency, there is no way. We need to purchase from the suppliers whatever they are giving. But we need to monitor the quality and everything. It's not like that you are only procuring that medicine and giving to the patients. But in some cases, we have to go through that. And even for the expiry also. For procurement and expiry also, we are facing till this month end also we have to use some medicines, because there is, for manufacturing, there is no stock available. But it is required for the emergency ICU patients and all. In that case, we can't do anything. We have to procure that. These cases are rare, but we have to be there. Means we need to inform to the institution, our institution. This is the cases there we can't see the cost and all everything. But we have to see the emergency. We have to see the health of the patients. That everything is also mandatory for taking precautions while doing this procurement.
Thanks, Neeta. So basically, we'll keep, you had some, so we were coming to that. We'll keep the floor open for any questions on this panel. We have some 3-4 minutes of time, so please, she has a question.
Thank you. I am from the supply side. My name is Priyanka from Mohan Singh. I want your feedback on some understanding as a sales owner. There are a lot of times we see generally majorly the logo companies where a vendor is selected or a supplier is selected, a vendor partner is selected, and they are serving for the company for years, maybe decades at times.
No matter you talk about change management, how you've proved yourself in the previous other companies, similar industries, you talk about pricing, TCOs, all of it, at the end of the day, it does not move. What do we do as a sales owner in cases like this to convince procurement owners like you to take us?
I'll start answering this question. So basically, this is the cross-functional feedback for us. Direct feedback from sales, right? Yeah. So what happens is some suppliers tend to grow with the organization, right? So when we realize that we get biased, a lot of time our procurement colleagues also get biased when suppliers tend to go with the organization because the comfort and ease of work which we have with those vendors is unparalleled, right? So here there needs to be a thin line cut off on when we have to start looking out, right? And the one thing with over the time procurement professionals, right, tend to go deaf to is the feedback from the customers or feedback from our internal stakeholders. Once we start understanding that feedback and pay a close heed to each and every feedback, right? So we can take corrective actions in between. But yes, I completely agree with you. If I have understood your question, some suppliers tend to become the son-in-law for the business, right? So that becomes very difficult to handle after a given point of time because professionals may come and go, but those suppliers stay on, right? So there's a very strong cutoff required for such vendors when it comes to a cost to the company by way of service or anything. So anyone else would like to comment on this?
Long-term relationship is important. It's very good for the organization, but we need to modify in some cases. If there is, we are getting competitors and our long-term supplier is there, they are not ready to modify our rates and anything, then we have to think about that. We can compare. It is not like that if long-term supplier is there, we have to go through that only. We have to modify, tell them to bring it down to the comparison, whatever has given to another supplier. According to that, we have to modify. It's not like we can continue with that supplier if he is not ready to give discounts or reduce rates and all. I think as per my, it's very important, but we need to fluctuate sometimes as per the requirement of institution.
We'll take one or two more questions.
One point that I would want to add here is, I do not have a direct solution for her, but there is a change management that is happening internally as a procurement team and as a leader that they see. This legacy is being followed of vendor, unlike it is for a long-term vendor where it is strongly associated for the business, for more of the, let's take the indirect procurements. So what we did is, when we sign a comparative or when we approve a comparative, we approve a vendor, that means, and a price, we put a validity to it. We say this is valid for so-and-so time and this needs to be relooked. How well this is going, you're getting support all the time, that's fine. But still you put a validity date, so only then your team, the procurement team, will go back and also look for the new suppliers in the market, also validate whether everything is happening well. I think this is what we have done. And if this becomes the trend, I think there is a solution for you there.
Sure. We have 4 seconds left. There was a long arm which went up in the back. So that question I think we can take as the last. Please.
Hi,
that arm is no more available.
This is Lavanya. See, I'm into FMCG, it's food manufacturing unit. So basically, we face a problem while doing a contracts. We contract like cocoa powders or fats. So when is actual time to do the contracts is always a question. Because every year it changes. It may be the seasonally. Even so how much ever the experts they are, but still they are faced to decide like when to do the contracts. So I want something on about this.
We'll have to give a quick answer. Time's up. Anyone would like to go for it? Anyone understood this question? We didn't understand this question.
You want to ask what is the right time to do
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever you need it. So, that's a short answer. Maybe if somebody has a longer explanation, I'll let them do that.
I think that was crisp.
No, whenever is needy, I do understand, sir. But still, see, as I said you, it's a contract, it's 6 months or 3 months or a year. But sometimes it's really tricky to take a call, as you are aware, like this Ukraine and Russian war was there. That time the cocoa powders, the actual prices were somewhere around like $3,000. It went up to $10,000, $12,000. So that is actually an unexpected thing. But even then, in general also, we couldn't able to decide when to place an order. So as you all are experts, so I asked.
Yeah, actually, you need to go through, need to check the interconnect, means other market rates also you need to find out from the markets. It's not like whenever any manufacturer is giving rates, it's not for your company is different, for other companies different, but depends on consumption also. That you need to find out.
Yes.
That you have to see the market rates. Then only you can go to accordingly.
There was a gentleman at the back who raised his hand twice. Yeah, please.
Suppliers not as vendors but as channel partners.
Can you repeat it once again from the beginning?
Just to extend to whatever we have been discussing, I'm from Dukes, like I handle the operations there. So we should treat our suppliers as not as vendors, as channel partners. I'll give you a small example. In the time of COVID, we were manufacturing full throttle. But for me to pack my product, I need a lot of laminate, and laminate did not fall in essential commodities. So we took care of the permissions required for them to run their laminate factories, because I can't pack my product without laminate. Second is, we also have to step into the challenges of the vendors or channel partners, what we call, because most of the time, whoever is procuring packaging material, we have a lot of issues in shade differences. Every time there is an issue and all that. What we need to extend is as to standardize the inks they use. This is a very peculiar problem we all face who are into procurement of packing material, because every vendor uses their own inks and they have their own ink kitchens. So standardization of the ink and getting into their shoes to understand the challenges is what is needed, not just to replace them for some cost benefit and all that. I just wanted to say that.
Thanks. Very valuable inputs. So I think this was all. We can wind up.
Thank you so much for the discussion. We would like to felicitate you all, and I request you, sir, Mr. Amrinder Singh, to please felicitate our moderator and panelists present on the stage. Everyone, please applaud for them. Mr. Sourabh Sengupta. A very big round of applause, everyone. Please keep applauding while we felicitate them. Mr. Rajashyam K. A very big round of applause, everyone. Mr. Balakrishna Nadella. And Ms. Neeta Pawar. Request all of you to please stand for a group picture.